So the posse was woken up by room service, a young woman named Miss Klein, who was delivering breakfast to the group. So the group partook of the breakfast. There was some haggling over coffee or not coffee, and they eventually noticed that Harley was not in his room. Eventually, they would notice that Davy wasn't there either, but they didn't pick up on that till a little while later. Brother Malachi, being the curious one he is and concerned about the welfare of his good friends, went downstairs to the bar and asked the bartender about Harley, seeing if he had been seen down there. And of course, Harley had spent a good part of the night gambling down in the bar downstairs, and doing quite well, as a matter of fact. Around 4 o'clock or so...
Naturally.
Yeah, naturally. Around 4 o'clock or so, a miner came running in and was all frantic, like, in the words of the bartender, and said something to Harley, and then Harley took off like a bat out of hell. Knowing that, not knowing exactly what had been said to Harley, Malachi went back upstairs and informed the rest of the posse. And they did a little more poking around, and right around that point, they realized that Davy was missing as well. But Davy tends to come and go as he pleases, so they were a little more concerned with Harley, especially under the circumstances of him disappearing. And so they decided they were going to go look for him. They decided the best place to go look first was the Comstock load. And when they got there, they spotted a work boss and 2 of his strikebreakers talking to a Story County deputy, with a single miner who was marching back and forth along the picket line, yelling, "Fair wages, good living, we deserve it." The deputy left, and then the posse started putting together a plan.
It was, just for the record, it was a peaceful protest.
It was a peaceful protest, yes.
It was a peaceful protest. There were no rioting, no looting.
The posse put together a plan to get over the wall, and they actually recruited the miner to help him out. So he created a little more of a ruckus while still being peaceful, and drew the attention of the strikebreakers after they'd closed the gate. Using that distraction, the trio climbed over the wall, and they noticed a pretty peculiar-looking raven sitting on top of the wall, keeping an eye on him. Malachi tried to grab it, but it danced away out of his grasp, and it looked back at him, and they all realized this was not natural. Someone was using the raven through their storied knowledge of the occult. Someone was using the raven to keep an eye on him. So Brother Malachi called upon his powers, his divine powers, and cast the creature away, sent it flying away. And a couple of them noticed it landed on a house on the other side, but it was no longer in the way or bothering them. So they continued on their way. The 3 inside the Comstock load, the facility outside of the mine, were sneaking around, and they got a good look at the boss. They started looking for evidence that maybe Harley had been there, and then Evan accidentally made a mistake in the form of a botched die roll and dropped a wrench that drew the attention of the 2 strikebreakers who were at the front gate. They turned around and then promptly got their arses whooped. And the group dragged them into a shed and put the questioning to him, and eventually realized, also finding evidence of an interrogation that had taken place in the shed. And they realized that Harley had been here. They had given him a good working over. And after some interrogation, they learned from the strikebreakers that Harley had been turned over to Dorcas, who had taken Harley off to a rickety old fortress that they built, or a fort would be a better word, a fort that they built on the outside of Virginia City, along a canyon that ran along the northeast side of the city. So the group made their way up there, and they literally found themselves outside of a fort and needing to put together a plan to get inside. They found this huge rock nearby, and a couple of them, I believe it was Malachi and definitely Tobias, climbed up on top of it, where they could get a good view inside the fort. And that's where they saw poor Harley and Davy roughed up, unconscious, in cages inside the fort. Apparently this group had gotten a hold of Davy as well and drug him in. Although, knowing Davy, he probably put down quite a few of them before he went down. They were still scouting out the situation, getting numbers and whatnot, deciding what to do, when Tobias noticed a peculiar-looking book in Dorcas's hands. She seems thrilled and elated to be having this book, and seemed to be dancing. She came out of her tent, she was very happy, and then she ended up moving back into her tent. So Tobias described the book to Malachi and Evan, And it took a moment for them to realize, but they recognized it by the description as the book that the group had found during their jaunt into the future.
Funny, the book we thought was destroyed.
Yeah.
They immediately realized
Harley.
that Harley had not been so forthcoming when he had told the group that the book had been destroyed and was no longer in his possession. And now Dorcas had hold of it, which complicated the entire situation. Not only did they need to get in, not only did they need to get to the forts to rescue their friends, they needed to find a way to get that book out of Dorcas's hands. So they put together a plan, and that's a very short way of saying that they spent a while putting together a pretty good plan.
We spent half the night putting together a plan.
But it was fun. They came up with a lot of creative ideas. So Evan created a device.
I didn't get to blow anything up.
She didn't get to blow anything up, but she do have the explosives still. She zip-lined across the canyon because they were on the backside of the fort. There was this bridge going off to the other side of the canyon, an escape route for them in case things went wrong. So Evan came in from that side, planted some explosives onto the bridge. Meanwhile, Tobias, who was pretty good with the rifle, decided he was going to stay on the rock and provide overwatch and sniping duties, while Brother Malachi was going to sneak towards the front of the fort. And let me just say, this trio, all hell broke loose. And the cultist and the gunman and Dorcas did not know what hit them. They were reacting to Tobias sniping from above, and eventually Brother Malachi did get noticed, so things got a little hairy for him, but he managed to set a huge section of the fort on fire, and the fire was spreading all over the place. And then he managed to get into the fort, and while all this was going on, Evan snuck in and freed Davy and Harley and woke them up, got them heading towards the bridge and whatnot. At that point, Dorcas noticed her, and Dorcas chased her halfway across the bridge to stop her from taking away the two people she had captured. And that did not go well for Dorcas, actually, because Evan did what Evan does better than anyone, and blew the living hell out of her. So what was originally seen as a plan just to create a distraction and get the two of them out and maybe find a way to get the book turned it into a complete rout, as they felled every single gunman, the cultist, and Dorcas, and took them all out. And then there was some debate about what to do with the book, and they decided to wait until Harley was in his right mind and then have a talk with him. So it's later that evening, and the group of you find yourself back at the Ghost Rock Hotel. A few dollars pass the way of the man who runs the establishment, and you find yourself in a private room upstairs with a large dining room table. It's rather ornate, but you can see bits of wear and tear along the edges. It looks like golden. It has a green painted walls, velvet all over the place with a golden trim, but you can see lots of wear and tear on the gold. And on close inspection, you can tell it's not real gold. It's just a fake gold paint that's painted over things to make everything look fancy. But most importantly, it's private, and you feel it's safe enough to have the conversation that a few of you feel you need to have at the moment.
Harley, you got some splaining to do.
On your way into the room, when you return, Tobias actually is handed a folded piece of paper by the man who runs the establishment, and Tobias looks at it and he says, "I hadn't mentioned this before, but there's a small office of my agency here in Virginia City. I wasn't looking to bother them with my presence, but it seems they found out and I need to report in. I'll go take care of this and I'll be back in a little bit." Leaving the original posse upstairs, or part of the original posse, Harley, Evan, Malachi, and Davy in the private room alone upstairs.
So,
yeah,
and we're all sitting around a table talking, and sitting in the middle of the table is a book. And
thank God you guys got my book.
Harley, could you remind me what this book is? Could you remind me what this book has? And why you shouldn't have it? Why it should not be on this table?
Well, I could do better explaining why I'm the perfect person to have this book. Because if this book fell into anybody else's hands, you know the destruction that it could have caused? You can't destroy this book. This book is too powerful. And it's better off with me. You understand? It is my book. I understand it, and it understands me.
Right. But it did get in the wrong hands. It got in the hands of Dorcas. Because you still had the stupid book.
Temporarily got into the wrong hands. It has now been restored fairly easily, in what I can see.
Easily?
No.
Are you kidding me?
You guys annihilated them.
We got shot to shit trying to rescue you.
Died. I may have hurt her real good, but I almost died. Had it not been for Malachi, and had it not been for science, thank you, science, I would have died trying to save your ass.
Or magic.
All because of this stupid book.
And because you got that book, I am able to bring you back to life if that ever happens again. Damn the science. The magic is there. I possess the magic in this book. And you have done a great deed to me and humanity for returning this book into my hands.
I think Evan has a hell of a point here.
Faded out there, Bill.
What's that?
You faded out.
Sorry. I think Evan has a hell of a point there. You know, it's already fallen into the wrong hands once. How do we know it's not going to fall into the wrong hands again? And we're not going to be
there to save your ass.
Exactly. And we won't be around. This book is just too dangerous, man. We've got to destroy it. It must be destroyed. You've read the book. You have the knowledge. You don't need the book anymore. Let's get rid of it.
I need the book. Let me put it in the perspective of a spiritual man such as yourself, Brother Malachi. What would happen, or let's say this happened, that the book put me in the position to where you delivered justice. Have you ever thought about that? That the book might be of a higher power?
Oh, I'm quite sure it's of a higher power. But it's of a higher power.
That you shouldn't be messing with.
There ain't nothing about the Lord in that there book. That book is nothing but dag nasty evil. And it needs to be destroyed.
No, we cannot destroy this book. We cannot. This book
three sides, very different coins here. We've got science, we've got the Lord, and we've got nonsense. Complete and utter nonsense.
Nonsense. This book led us to the fate. We were destined, Brother Malachi, if I might use your terminology here, we were destined, fated to show up and deliver justice to that evil. We did God's work by annihilating those people. And maybe the book brought about that fate by placing itself in the hands of which you were to smite. Have you ever thought
I'm sorry, Harley. Who brought justice? Who destroyed those people? I would say that me and Malachi did. I don't know about you. You were knocked out for half of it.
And
you
I
want to know why?
Part. That
because
may have been my part of all of
this.
this.
That's why. I don't know what.
You played your part. I played mine, whether it was be the dummy on the floor or not. I played my part. You played yours. We did good work here.
Davey, what do you got to say about this?
I had thought we had all agreed that the book be destroyed back in the day.
Well,
after all the time traveling, I don't know about all of this hocus pocus mumbo jumbo stuff that he's talking about. I'm more of a practical kind of guy. If it's not a pistol in my left hand, it's a pistol in my right hand. I tend to set my fates towards the reality of things. The more things, the heaviness of the pistols in my hand instead of the flippity gibbets, finger wiggling
Or trust
stuff.
me, the magic carries weight. Do believe me.
Magic
There
is
is
magic.
price to pay.
So let me ask you this, Harley. Now that you've read the book and you know its secrets, do you still need the book in order to use that magic? Or can you use the magic without the book?
I cannot. I need to study it. As good as my memory is and as powerful as I am in magic, I still have to reference. I cannot let this book go into the oblivion.
But this shouldn't be a discussion. We had this discussion a year ago, and we decided that this shit is not okay.
And I was 100% on board, dear Evan. But when I contemplated it, it spoke to me.
Because it's fucking evil.
And that doesn't concern you that a book
It doesn't concern
full of
you that
evil
an
spells
evil
spoke
book-
to you. That doesn't concern you in the least.
Because what it said,
It's like you're
I
possessed.
wholeheartedly
It's
agree.
like when you try to destroy something that's possessed, it like gets in your brain and it says,
Brother
"Oh,
Malachi, doesn't the
destroy-
Bible speak to
destroy
you?
me, and you'll destroy
The Lord speaks to me.
Possessed.
The Bible
Through the
doesn't.
Bible.
The Bible is the Lord's words. The Bible
Hey.
itself doesn't speak to me. If I took this Bible and I tried to destroy it, if I tried to burn it in a fire, the Bible wouldn't speak to me and tell me to stop burning it.
No, apparently
And if
you
I
have an
burn this
inferior
Bible, I still have the words of the Lord. I don't need this Bible. This Bible is for other people, so that when I speak the word of the Lord, I can share it with them and show it to them. The word of the Lord is in my head. It's in my heart. I don't need this Bible.
Well, magic doesn't.
What you've got in
necessarily work
between the
that way.
covers of that book is pure evil. It's pure evil meant to bring destruction on this world.
Maybe from a certain point of view.
No, from any point of view. That book came straight from hell. Trust me, son, I've been there. I know what hell looks like. And that book came straight from hell.
Well, it seems that we are at an impasse.
I don't know. This is 3 against 1, hun. All 3 of us think that you should destroy the book, just like we said last time. So perhaps we should destroy the book this time.
Well, in all fairness, we had our chance to destroy it while Harley was still half conscious. We chose not to destroy it because it belongs to Harley, and Harley's the one that needs to make the decision. Now, we can speak all the truth and all the common sense to whom we want. Harley decides not to destroy that book. The consequences are on him. But know this. The next time I have to tear that book out of the hands of some evildoer like Dorcas, I ain't giving it back to you. I will destroy it. Mark my words. If you want that book to survive, you better protect it a little bit better than you have been.
Don't worry, I will have my guns trained on it.
Yeah, you weren't much help either, hun. Love you to
Look-
bits.
Look
Right
here,
now.
lo- lass.
You weren't much help either.
I can probably dig something up on you and lay you out on the list like Brother Malachi.
I blow shit up and I use science. What are you gonna do?
Somebody will put a price on your head too, and I'll come collect.
Now, we've all had our backs against the wall at one point or another. And I reckon everybody in this group has had to rely on somebody else in this group to save their bacon more than once. I remember old High Show, God rest his soul, once saved my hide out of a burning building. So we've all been up against it. We've all had each other's backs. I got Harley's on this one. Mark my words, son. That book is nothing but trouble. And it may not be this week. It may not be next. Might not be this month. Might not be next. That book's gonna bring more evil down on you, son. And when it comes, ain't nothing you can do to stop it.
Let's just say, when it comes, it'll probably be me pulling your ass out of the fire. To the gang. That is not my bottle of beer. To the gang. Similar. Peanuts beer.
All right. I'm going to deal an extra
Can we all
betting.
just reconcile to get back to normal and forget about this book? I will take care of it.
Oh, I ain't forgetting.
Oh no! We made that
Am
mistake. I'm not going to make that mistake again.
As far as I'm concerned, matter's closed for now, but like I said, we'll be watching. We know it's out there now. It ain't gonna surprise us. Ain't gonna surprise us again.
It is pretty useful.
I mean, it would have been nice to know you had it. We could have anticipated that Dorcas would want something evil like that if we knew it still existed. We had no clue. Put yourself in our shoes, man. We show up thinking we're there to rescue you, and now it turns into a recovery mission. Now we gotta go get a book out of Dorcas's hands.
All right. I do declare that it should have been known that this book was in my possession. And for that, I am very sorry. Please forgive me. I will take it upon my persons to keep this book as safe as possible. And we should try to find something that maybe we could lock this book up on my person so that it won't fall into the hands of other people.
Maybe there's something in that book. We should find a spell or some witchcraft that'll bind it to you.
Indeed.
Just be careful, lad. Don't go messing around with no. You can't see my fingers, but they're doing a little wiggly magic thing. Don't.
I think that's the whole point of the book. The whole point of the book is for him to mess around with magics that shouldn't be messed around with.
So
I laugh. My eyes
Don't
go
like-
purple. I'm like,
I only like things that are explainable. It's not explainable. It's not.
Listen here. Just because your science glows green and mine glows purple, call it two
It's
different
not
things.
science,
It's
though.
the same thing.
There's a lot of things in this world can't be explained by science.
Agreed. Thank you,
Exactly,
Brother
and I don't like those things. You noticed?
Well, you like it or not, they exist. They're out there.
Hey, Evan. Stagecoach.
now that's just dirty.
Stop it!
I think I hear a stagecoach out on the street.
You guys aren't funny. It's not funny. I'll blow you to bits.
So I gave you all an extra betting for the scene you just enjoyed.
Not funny. You were there. You know what happened. Not funny.
Like I said, we've all had our backs against the wall. Or the stage.
So there is one other question.
All right, settled then.
Yep.
Harley can keep his book. But we'll be watching.
Thank you, brothers and sisters. I do appreciate it. And there will be good that happens because of it, I swear.
I highly doubt. But we shall see.
Who's up for a card game?
No, not with you.
What? No. I'd give
As-
the money back, of course.
Doing a little bit of stream of conscience. So as Harley says, sorry, I was muted. Doing a little bit of stream of conscience. As Harley says, card game. He's like, yeah, a card game. I was playing a card game last night. Wait, and a miner came in. The miner told me Christopher had been kidnapped. And all of a sudden, it comes back to Harley, a flood of everything that happened early that morning. So in the early AM, the things that had drawn Harley back to the Comstock load, where he had been ambushed by Dorcas by the Comstock load thugs and whatnot. Beaten pretty good, and then dragged off to Dorcas's fort outside of Virginia City.
Christopher. Oh, how could I have forgotten? My brother. We've got to find my brother.
What happened? What happened to him? What did they say? What did they say that got you to leave in the first place?
I don't know. That he was captured.
Some of the
Or were they just lying to get you out of here?
Harley doesn't exactly know. So what Harley was told was a couple of the Comstock load folks showed up and beat up some of the strikers when they were off. They were off for the evening, so they were away from the Comstock load and whatnot. And the group had grabbed Christopher out of the whole group and then dragged him off, which is what led Harley to go to the Comstock load in the first place.
There you go.
And unfortunately, Harley found nothing but trouble there and no sign of his brother Christopher at all. So the miners had said, the miner who had spoken to Harley said they were going to keep looking for him, see if they could find some more information.
And when we worked over those two miners, didn't they say they didn't have Christopher? They said,
yeah.
I could have swore we asked them when we worked them over to get info out of them that they said they didn't know Christopher, didn't have him, nothing about it.
Oh, so they lied to me. Okay, I guess we're going to have to go back.
Well, to be clear,
Well, no.
those Comstock load, the strikebreakers, didn't have Christopher. So Christopher, at least when Harley got there, or actually, now look at it, maybe they did lie to you.
The GM's like, oh, they didn't. Well, maybe they did.
You guys didn't roll an insight check, so you don't know.
Maybe they did lie to you. If they had Christopher
Either way,
there.
I'm going back and I'm fucking shit up.
She's got a whole bunch of explosives.
I
Something's
got a whole
gonna
bunch
blow
of
up.
explosives
before
that I
this
didn't
is
get to use. I'm going to use them this time.
I
This
gotta
girl
blow
has
that
got
whole
me
Comstock fortress sky high. I'm blowing some shit up.
Is there a way through magic that I could maybe do a find object and be that, be Christopher instead of an object or something? Is there something
Like
I can...
scrying?
Yeah, like a scry, or is there like a...
Take a look.
Twice in like 1 month, Mike? Are you kidding? Another scry? Start to become a habit.
Maybe if I just do a spell casting roll with a bonus from the book or something, that might give me a chance to find a scrying spell.
There's no way to do it, but there's no way to do it with the powers that you have right now. But you do know there is a way to conjure magics to do things that you don't normally do, but it is quite dangerous. And if you choose to reach out to one of the Manitou, you might be able to work a deal with the devil and get the information you're looking for. The spirits are always watching, and if you can make a connection with one and pay the right price, they may be able to provide the information you're looking for.
Okay. Let's do it.
All right. Now, the group has never seen you make a deal with the devil. So, what's your particular? So, how do you conjure up a Manitou? How do you reach out to the spirits that are on just on the other side of the realm of reality?
What they see is Well, Harley's gonna say, there may be a way for me to reach out to a certain network. I may be able to see if, or the whereabouts of Christopher. Now, don't be afraid, it's gonna look a little bizarre, but just trust me. And you see Harley's eyes as people's stuff or his irises go intense purple, right? And you see like these veins kind of scrawl across his forehead and stuff, and then he holds up his hands like this, and his fingertips start glowing with that intense purple aura, and he just forms this kind of shape, spreads his fingers out like this, and then just in a daze just peers through that hole that he is, right? And so from Harley's point of view, his eyes are glowing. He's creating this portal through his fingertips, through this hole right here, and he can look beyond the plane of existence into the realm to speak to his Manitou.
So as you reach out, you manage to give me a spellcasting roll first.
Okay. Oops. There you go. Sorry, I hit it twice. Doesn't look like I did it.
Actually, a four is a success.
Oh yeah, I forgot. 4s are successes. Okay.
And go ahead and spend 1 power point.
Okay.
All right. And so you pierce the veil and look over into the Shadowlands. And you see a whole host of spirits, poking around. And you look for one of the right size. There's it almost looks like a wraith-like ghost hovering there. But it's got a huge skull of a deer for a face, with these massive antlers going out, black, completely blackened antlers with blood dripping off the tips of them. And the Manitou turns and looks at you and locks eyes with you and then drifts over. And so everything has like a reddish hue around you. So you can see your friends and they're watching you. And this Manitou almost moves through Brother Malachi and then hovers there in the center of the room. Like Brother Malachi, a shiver goes through your body for a second. And the Manitou is hovering there in front of you. And he looks at you and says, "What can I do for you today?"
And I start to speak, and to me it's English, but to them it's like some sort of gibberish language, because I'm speaking to him in like demonic language or something.
Brother.
Yeah.
I understand it probably because I deal with the Manitou all the time. When I'm I deal with, as a Herald, I also deal with the Manitou when I'm counting coup and that sort of thing.
Okay, yeah, so you might understand it. So basically you hear Brother Malachi say, are you the one that can bring me visions of my brother? I'm looking specifically for him.
He opened up his hands wide. He says, "I can bring you many things. What is it you seek? You say your brother is not, you're looking for your brother? Is he lost? You need me to find a lost soul for you?"
You cocky devil. I just need to know his whereabouts. Can you point me in the direction of where he is? My brother Christopher.
Christopher Fogg. Yes, I know the smell of your family very well. I believe I could find him if you're willing to pay the right price.
What would that be?
Oh, it's been a while since I get to ride in the world of the living. For something like that, it's going to take a lot of strength to reach out and find your brother, because I don't sense him being very near at all. Some point in the next 48 hours, I want to walk in the living in your body.
In my body.
Oh, yes. You know how this works. You're going to give yourself over and not resist. And for 24 hours, I get to live again.
For a total time of 24 hours? Or within 24 hours?
Within the next 2 days, I get to take control, and then I have you for the next 24 hours once that happens.
I'm only hearing Harley's side of this conversation, right?
Correct.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to...
Or you could go somewhere else. I don't see many other spirits capable of completing such a task. But I'm willing to move on. I've got other business I can attend to.
Can I make a notice roll to see if I notice Brother Malachi like listening to me and like seeing if he understands what I'm saying?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Yeah, 5. So I understand, and you see kind of like my eyes flick over to you real fast, and then back. And then I kind of say it out loud, like our deal again. It's like, so that I understand the deal. Within the next 2 days, you possess my body for 24 hours. Justify my brother.
Yes.
I look over at you, at Malachi.
Malachi's just kind of shaking his head.
What's going on? I can't understand a word y'all are saying.
And you see Harley holding his hands in there, and he just goes and closes the door and casts it away. And he's like, "Too great a price. We can find him on our own."
All right.
I don't know if I'd like to be possessed for 24 hours. That's a really long time.
That's a wise decision. Hey, Mike, a little bit of a retcon. I had totally forgotten about this with Harrod. I had totally forgot about counting coup. And I probably could have done that on Dorcas, I would imagine. I mean, normally you can't count coup on, like, just on extras, or what do you call them? On,
you can on extras, and you can on wild cards. It depends if they have something that you count.
Yeah,
on.
it says here, Herald characters can steal this energy when Critter dies, can count coup on it, collect its essence. Herald can only count coup on the more powerful creatures. Lesser critters just don't have enough mojo to collect. So that's why I'm thinking, like, I don't know if all the little cultists would have had anything, but I'm pretty sure Dorcas would have.
They may have, but you didn't really think of it at the time.
Okay.
So
all right.
there is a price for counting coup.
Yeah, I was totally gonna say, I'll make the checks and stuff. Because it says here, I have to make a spirit roll. It just says if more than one Herald is within range to count coup, it's contested spirit roll. Can gain coup. If a Herald can gain a coup power from a creature, it's listed in the creature's description. Your marshal has the details on what powers come from each creature. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think. I totally forgot all about that aspect, because when he started talking about the Manitou, I went back to the Herald section to look at, because I know there's times where I've got to make spirit rolls against the Manitou.
Mm-hmm.
But and that's when I saw that, so I'll have to remember that.
I've got a question. I'm dealing with the Manitou. Are we supposed to, or is there a possibility of me playing a game to change the stakes and things like that? Like, can we play cards like poker or whatever to...
Yeah, so there's a couple different ways. So this is what he was offering you would be called a crossroad deal.
Okay.
Straight up. But you can try to you actually visualize it in your head like you're playing a game of cards with the spirits, and you can use that to draw on the Manitou for power. But there's always a chance that'll backfire.
Okay.
So you could either spend your power points to use your abilities, or
Yep.
go that route.
Okay. Yeah, I can remember how that was stated. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, everybody, I think I need to rest up a bit and then maybe go out and search for Christopher. I do hope he's okay.
I don't think
'Cause
we're
I'm
not
looking
going to
pretty-
help you find him, do you?
No, I wouldn't think that. I know you've got my back, and I do have yours. I do hope you understand that as well. But I'm pretty beat up.
Fair enough.
I'm looking like hamburger. So I need to probably take a rest. How do I recover power points?
Just a full night's rest.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, I know deep down inside my brother could probably take care of himself. I am anxious to find him, but I also realize that I'm pretty beat up, and I'm going to be a great use of the fight if I'm still hobbling along. So,
Yeah, and as they mentioned, Evan and Malachi, and Tobias for that matter, took some wounds in the battle.
yeah. And we've got ourselves a private little spot here. So,
Matt, what are you doing?
Sorry,
he's attacking us. Attack! Roll for initiative.
I did find a really nice PDF, and I'm just trying to take things and transfer it over to a PDF. And I was trying to understand the rules. Sorry,
Gotcha.
I had to roll it to see it because I can't see anything else.
Yeah. Okay. Well, how about we call it a night, replenish ourselves, and then first thing, like sunrise, we take off and try to figure out where he goes. We need to interrogate his seamstress friend and, any of the other miners that may have seen him. Try to figure out what they've done with him. Does it all sound like a plan?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, so if you decide to do a deal with the devil for your magic later on, just let me know. I've got the chart here.
Okay, cool. Okay.
All right,
so full
so
night's rest will give me all 25 points back?
yes.
Okay.
And do you want to? So Evan's got some pretty grievous wounds. Tobias and Malachi do well. So do you want to do anything about that, Bill?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and I will do a heal. I will do a healing prayer. So that's a novice.
Oh, for you guys, and to be fair, you would have had an hour to do it, the golden hour.
Oh,
so,
okay.
So you can make the roll now, but we'll assume you did it before you left the camp.
Gotcha. Character sheet. Right there. All right. So that's a novice faith roll. So yeah, that's 5.
Who were you rolling on?
On myself.
Okay, so that will remove 1 wound, so you are restored.
Yep.
You would need a raise to heal Evan all the way.
Yep. All right. Then a healing on Evan. So that heals 1 wound.
My character sheet didn't have any wounds or fatigue or anything on it. No,
I didn't put
back.
it on there. It was just narrative.
Oh, okay. All right. would I still have wounds if I were to, if Brother Malachi would have healed me, or am I just all healed and wave the hand?
Yeah, actually, with Brother Malachi healing like he is,
Uh-huh.
because he can just keep recasting it to heal you the rest of the way.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking
okay.
at. If there was any reason why I couldn't keep, since I didn't get the raise, if there was any reason why I couldn't just
Yeah, you
Yes.
can repeat it. Yeah.
repeat it on Evan. So
Okay.
here's
So
second roll on Evan. That's gonna be a failure.
Failure doesn't do anything as long as it's not a snake eyes.
Actually, I think it does. I have to do a spirit check or
Oh, that's right. You're right.
I lose faith.
Yeah, have a crisis of faith.
Crisis of faith. Yeah.
So, yeah, actually, I was taking wounds off, just assuming you could just heal everyone. But we are in a moment.
Oh no! Actually, it says if it comes up 1, I suffer a crisis of fate.
So if it's yeah.
Yeah, if it's a failure, it's not a crisis of faith, but
Okay,
Let's
so
see.
go ahead and try again for Evan.
hold on. Praying, contrary.
And all we're really looking for here is to make sure you don't roll a 1 on the faith die.
Oh, on a failure, the power has no effect, and the blessed gains a fatigue level. So I do gain 1 fatigue for failing on that prayer.
All right. Gave you 1 fatigue.
Okay. And then 1 more try on Evan. Damn.
2
Suffered
fatigue.
another fatigue. 3 fatigue. How much fatigue can I get before I pass out?
You're making me look it up. Hold on. Oh, shoot. This would be a first for our game. I don't think we've ever had. I want to say it's 3. And when you go to 4, you're out.
Did we all just get white chips for tonight?
No, remember if you click on them, you'll see the actual color.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Can't I just spend a white chip to re-roll?
Yeah, you can do that.
I'm gonna do that. I'll just spend a white chip and re-roll, so I don't end up with 2 fatigue.
All right.
I didn't mean to do that. Or did I not? I didn't do that.
Matt's stealing my chips.
Sorry. I thought I did that. We clicked at the same time when he said I'm doing a white chips, and then I was looking at it and trying to make it go
Okay,
away.
so I'm still at 1 fatigue. I would have re-rolled to not get a 2nd fatigue. So I'm still at 1 fatigue. Okay. And another faith roll. Where did those keep coming from?
That's because I'm changing your fatigue level manually.
Oh, okay. There we go.
That would take care of it.
That'll do then.
All right. So the last person injured is Tobias. He has 1 wound.
Okay. Didn't he leave?
This was while you're still on the battlefield.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yep.
All right.
There
so
we go.
He is.
It's
healed.
gone.
You're healed. Okay. So that part's done with. So yeah. So you guys are a little beaten up, or very beat up. You were actually unconscious, so you would have been at 3 wounds.
Me?
Yeah, both of you. You and Davy.
Okay.
Do I need to do faith checks on them too, or they're past the golden hour probably?
That's a good point. They would be past the golden hour. So you're gonna have to, you're gonna have to do some healing, the natural way. Although, you know what? I'm going to retcon that a little bit. Because they weren't there. I don't want to screw them. That wouldn't be fun.
Well, how do you heal if you don't use the spell?
Natural healing, which takes a long time. Like,
Oh, it's not just like D&D where it's a night's rest and your
No.
wounds go away.
no.
Okay.
I thought that was my game music for a second.
No, that's my phone.
Jane's calling.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm gonna.
So for the sake of
Okay, so this is how we're going to do it.
here.
So just to show that there was something there.
Okay.
So I'm going to roll. I'm going to use the correct command and roll. All right. So Harley got beat up pretty good in his gut. So you have one wound
Okay.
that Brother Malachi can't heal for you.
Okay.
And your agility die is reduced 1 die type temporarily until you're healed.
Okay. Does that
Alright.
do that automatically, or do I have to do that manually?
Do it. You can do it manually, but you can just manually turn your die down 1 type. And then Davy's vigor is reduced by 1 die type temporarily.
Well, it wasn't that much to begin with.
Now it can't go below D4. So if you're at D4 already,
No, it was a 6.
okay. So it goes down
How
to
do
4.
I change that?
So if you open up your character sheet,
The gear.
yep. Oh no, not the gear. That's some 2 modifiers.
Okay.
You just grab it on the character sheet and you'll see a pull down, change it to the other die type.
D4. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay.
So
Roll 20 character sheet is so slow.
it really is.
Actually, it was pretty quick for me.
All right, I'm just putting a note here so we don't forget after you've been healed. There we go. All right. So you can get someone, you can get a doc, an old sawbones to tend to your wounds overnight. Or you can try and do it yourself with a skill check if anyone is skilled and that kind of thing.
Did you say I had a wound, and my vigor went down, or just the vigor?
Both. So you have 1 wound.
Oh, okay. Okay.
What's the skill? Healing
You would know if you had.
or? Oh, okay.
It would be on your sheet.
Okay.
I don't think anyone's ever really retrained in medicine. They usually relied on Brother Malachi.
Yeah. Is there anything in the grimoire that I could concoct? I gotta really start utilizing this grimoire more.
There would be, yes. As a matter of fact, so you go searching through the grimoire and you do find a spell to cavort with some dark spirits to invoke necropanic powers and funnel life into yourself. But that also has to be used in the golden hour after you've been hurt.
Okay. There isn't some sort of like remedies that I could go out and like buy and craft, things like that. Like
No.
Not,
No, nothing like that.
okay.
Now, you have found some interesting items in the past, but nothing that would do that.
Okay. So I'm carrying 1 wound.
And like you said,
Good
if
nice.
worst comes to worst, there's a resurrection spell in there.
True. And that, folks, is why I carry the book.
So you're left with a conundrum. You chose not to make them deal with the devil, the crossroads deal, which would have led you to Christopher. So you need to find another way to track him down.
Yeah. Thinking about all the places that we went with him, all the people that we met while with him. And I pull out a little notebook and just start jotting down names.
So there's the old Washoe Club, which is where you also met up with him here when you first got to Virginia City.
Right.
There's the Minor Union Hall, which you'd gone to. Obviously the Comstock Road, but you already checked there, and as far as you know, he at least wasn't there when you were there.
Okay.
At least not in the particular ship that you were in. There was all you do remember a players' hall though, where they would put on performances called the Fools. What was it again? The Fools Players.
Okay.
And you do remember that Christopher was actually pretty fond of the place. You never really took to it. There's a lot of tomfoolery and whatnot. Time wasted sitting around watching people on stage make fools of themselves, as in the name of the place, and not time out there at the tables making money and contributing to your well-being. But like I said, Christopher was pretty fond of it.
Okay. Sounds
Those
good.
are the ones that come to mind.
Okay. And who was that girl that was partial to Chris?
Her name was Mary. Unless it wasn't Mary, and it is Mary now. And she had a tailoring shop down along. It's a little bit across town. It was towards the center of town.
Okay. Well, because I know her, and I know she's partial to him, if she doesn't know, maybe she can be another set of eyes and ears for us.
Okay.
So I like to probably go there first.
All right. The rest of you guys gonna tag along with Harley?
Yep.
Sure. Somebody's got to watch the book.
So you go to Mary's tailoring shop. You do spot every now and then you see some of the Story County deputy or two walking around. They look like they're looking for someone, but they don't seem to take too much notice of you. And you find your way to the tailoring shop, and there's Mary waiting for you. Now, have you had your night's rest?
Yeah, this is in the morning.
Okay, so you still have the D. You no longer have the wounds, but you still have the other penalty.
Okay, the D4 agility.
Yeah, you're still sore. Your guts are still sore from the beating you took. It's going to take a couple days for that to go away. If you want, Matt, it's going slow for me. You go ahead and take that wound off.
Oh, okay. I'll take it off.
So the, you go knocking on the door, and Mary looks up at you, and she's like, "Oh, Harley, it's so good to see you again. I'm so worried. One of the miners came by yesterday and said that Christopher had been taken, and they're looking for him. Have you found him yet?"
No, we came here hoping that you could have had some word. Do you know where he was the last time somebody saw him?
No, we weren't set to meet that night. It was Wednesday night, and also I went to church, and Christopher never was much one for church, so he took off on his own. I don't know if he was gambling or if he went to the players' hall or what he was doing when the Comstocks ambushed him. They can't even find the fellows that were with him. They've must have run off or someone else did them in as well.
Okay. You hold yourself up here and you be safe. And if I find anything, I'll let you know.
Now, for the record, for a second I thought you said, "You whore yourself up here."
I heard the exact same thing. I was kind of thinking to myself.
Me too.
Hold.
I didn't think Mary was that kind of girl, but
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you know what? Before he goes, I want to roll a notice check, see if I can tell whether or not she's lying.
Go for it.
Hey,
Yeah, she's a simple young woman, and very
she's
easy. Yeah, very
apparently
easy to
she's
read.
pouring herself out because she's simple.
And there's no subterfuge whatsoever to the word she's saying.
Okay, all right. Mary, hold yourself up here. Be careful. Don't let anybody in. And if I find something about Christopher, I'll come back and let you know. Okay?
Thank you, Harley. I do appreciate it.
Thank you, Mary. And if you hear anything, you send word to me.
She nods, and she kind of she kind of forces a smile for you, and rubs her face a little bit like she's fighting back tears, and then goes back to her work.
Okay. All right. Let's go to that players club.
Okay. So you case the joint, or actually you would remember where it is because, like I said, you've been there before.
Right. Yeah. This is the gentleman's club, right?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah.
This is the theater.
The theater. Yes, of course. The theater.
So we'll give it just a second. You guys should have a map loading.
Yep. I see it.
Lesbians. Oh, and a whole huge crowd.
So as you're walking up to the Fools players, you can actually hear, music playing in the background. And let me put you guys on the map.
Oh, sorry, I can't stop yawning.
Don't go now, don't fall asleep.
You better stop that. It won't take much for me to roll over and just fall out. I've been now awake an hour and a half longer than I have. I've been going to bed about 8:15 the last 3 days.
Yeah, I gotta refresh this map. Is it loading slow for you guys too?
No, I see the theater and all the people in the crowd and the guys on the stage. Is that supposed to be like a second story or something on the right?
Yeah.
I just see two of us though. I see Brother Malachi and myself. I don't see any other tokens.
Yeah,
Yep.
it was freezing up as I was trying to load the rest of you, so I'm doing a cache refresh real quick. All right. So we got everyone loaded on the map. So you walk up to this place called the Fools Players, and you hear this. There's music, but it's so disjointed and like you can't tell if there's something Shakespearean going on or if it's like something like a ragtime type song. It just doesn't make any sense at all. And as you push your way through the saloon-like doors on the front of the place, you see a really meager-looking crowd who they're kind of talking. Some of them are just talking to each other, not really paying attention. And you see these two individuals up on the stage, a man and a woman, and you can tell instantly this is something Shakespearean or Shakespearean imitation. There's a guy in a big poofy, really worn-looking green outfit with the big poofy arms and the Victorian thing around his neck. Forgive me for not knowing the names of the clothing items, but you know what I'm trying to say. And he's all got his hand on his chest and his other arm out like Ted from Bill and Ted's, and he's looking at this woman, and she's kind of ugly looking. We shouldn't judge, but she's kind of ugly looking, and she's looking at him and batting her eyes. She has these fake eyelashes on, and she's like, Romeo, wherefore art my Romeo? There he is, and he's the East. And you actually hear him say, oh, that's my line. There she is, and she is the East. And the two are mutilating Shakespeare and Romeo and Juliet up on stage. And you hear some of the audience laughing at them, and the actors kind of get flustered for a second. They look around at the crowd, and then they look at each other. The guy motions like, all right, keep going. And she's like, oh, blah, 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 wherefore art thou? And they start talking and whatnot. And you look around.
Yes, silence.
You look around and give me a notice check.
All of us, or?
Yeah, everyone, because you're looking for Christopher.
I still can't get over the blatant. Wow.
Ooh,
Brother Malachi
how the hell did that happen?
is horrifyingly enraptured in this awful performance.
No, this is the good part. Wait, just wait.
Never have I seen upon my eyes such a beautiful angel.
Are we looking at the same thing?
Davy's looking for the bar. Need a beer.
There's no bar, but you see a guy in the guy in the back row there. He kind of looks at you. He can tell. He looks at you. He can tell. You know that look when two guys look at each other. Or two people look at each other. You guys need a drink. So he kind of leans back over. He's got this large flask. He motions to you and hands it to you and lets you take a swig of it.
Yeah, I'll take a hit.
So Harley and Davy do a quick glance go over, and you don't see any sign of Christopher in the crowd whatsoever. So while they, obviously the story was that he was jumped by Comstock load, you kind of have hopes that you'd find him sitting here somewhere, just watching the plays and enjoying them like when you were kids.
Yeah.
But there is an upstairs to it, so maybe he's actually in the upstairs.
There's also a backstage too.
But this play
And
is
the
so
backstage,
damn terrible. It's like watching a herd of horses go over a cliff. I just can't turn away. It's awful, but I can't stop watching.
I sure as hell can. Let's get the bloody hell out of here.
I'll go walk up to the very top here. Is it just one set of stairs here? It just goes
one set of stairs that goes up, and then you can move yourselves to the far right map.
I'm gonna just poke my head up where I'm not completely. Yeah, I was maybe right here, and just kind of look around, trying to be unnoticed.
You see an older looking gentleman who you recognize from your youth, and he's dressed up as, you can tell by the costume, he's dressed to be the head of the Capulet household, and he's sitting there and he has a handkerchief in his hands, and he's just like oh my god, they're mutilating the hell out of this masterpiece.
And I say from behind him, yes, they are. It hasn't gotten any better since I was a kid.
Oh, I'm sorry. He takes his handkerchief, starts wiping off. I'm sorry, you shouldn't see me like this. I thought I was alone up here.
No, it's okay. I wanted to cry myself.
I came out west because I heard all these stories about how I could be the great one to bring the culture to the west. And so I came out here and I bought this player's house, and I tried to turn it into something, but these imbeciles they have out here, they couldn't act their way out of a bar acting drunk if they had a bottle of whiskey in them. They're just a bunch of idiots. I think they're gonna break me. I honestly do think the man who sold me this place, he took me to the cleaners, that's for sure. But I apologize. What can I do for you? I hope you're not here to watch the play. If you are, I will have to ask you, please just leave.
No, today's your lucky day, because I'm a newspaper critic. Just joking.
There was a look of utter terror on his face.
Terror.
Oh, shit.
No, so
The final nail in the coffin.
Yeah. You probably don't remember me, but back in the day. Now, was he around when we were kids?
No. You remember another gentleman who was a bit of a snake oil salesman who owned the joint originally.
Yeah. My brother and I used to come around here, enjoy the shows from time to time, certainly beat the heat. But I tell you what, they weren't good back then either. The reason that I'm here...
Come, sit. You're a regular. You come here often?
I'm not too terrible. I haven't been in town for a very long time. And I actually came in town to visit my brother, and, well, I can't seem to find him. And I was hoping to bend ears and in hopes that somebody could point me in the right direction.
Well, you can see the crowds don't exactly flock to my establishment. If your brother's a regular here, I might know him. What's his name?
Christopher Fogg.
And there's a moment there where he catches.
Unnoticed check on that.
You don't need to make the check.
Oh, okay.
You're Christopher's brother?
I am. I scooch a little closer. Get kind of, put the arm around.
And he goes, I hope you come to help him. That poor young man was in here late yesterday watching the show. It wasn't this travesty. They were doing King Lear, but it was just as awful.
You tell, what happened to my brother?
Well, he was sitting in the back. It looks like he was trying to keep to himself, but some of those Comstock men came in, and they started a big fight, interrupted the whole performance and everything. And they ended up pushing him around and not get him 1-2, and then they dragged him out of this place.
Did you see which direction they went?
Oh, I sure did. Your brother, you're right. Your brother is a regular. I see him coming here pretty regularly. And I'm not one to to pass on regular money. So I did run. I remember running out front. And I watched him, and I saw them load him up in one of those automobiles. We ain't got many of those around here. Only a couple that I'm aware of, and they're both owned by the Comstock family. They loaded him up in the back of that vehicle, and they headed out west. And if I know anything, they're heading out to the Comstock Ranch.
Much obliged. Did you get a good look at the faces of those gentlemen that escorted my brother so politely into that automobile?
See this look on his face. He gets really nervous. I can't say I did.
With a snap of the fingers, 5. Let's see. I guess it's in. What would be good money back then? Dollar bills, I guess, right? Dollars would be pretty good.
Dollar
then.
standard.
Okay.
Silver dollar.
Okay. And what would be a not sizable, but a generous amount back then?
Anything above $5, yeah.
Okay. So he snaps his fingers, and immediately, like, two $5 bills appears in his hands. And
Give me a persuasion roll, or a. Nope. It's not persuasion. Is it persuasion?
Okay, good. It doesn't want to be persuasion.
No, it is persuasion.
Okay.
But I was gonna say you get a +1 bonus to the roll. But do you want to re-roll that?
Sure, I'll re-roll that.
All right.
What will it cost me?
A Betty. So you get +1 because you're giving them money, which definitely greases the wheel, so to speak. So you've got
drag this out.
Yeah, you just drag it out. So you want to spend a white to do an actual re-roll? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was looking at the wrong one. Oh, you've got by the way, you've got the Fate chip, the Legend chip this session, which you can do all sorts of cool stuff with.
Do I only get to keep it this session?
Just this session, yep.
Okay.
But if we get to the end of the session and you've not spent it, you can turn it back in for 1 extra experience point.
Oh.
Or 1 extra. Oh, actually, I'll have to look up how it works now, but yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm not doing a very good job here persuading him.
You can spend another penny if you want.
Sure. Why not?
All right, give me one more reroll.
Come on, baby, don't let me down. Ooh, I get a +1 though, right? So
Yep.
That's 4.
So that's the ticket right there.
There you go. So I mean, with the snap of my fingers, 2 $5 bills appear in my hands.
He kind of looks around. You see his grubby little fingers rubbing together, and he kind of reaches out and snatches the money and shoves it, inside a hidden, pocket or something inside his costume. And he's like, "He was the Story County deputies, that's for sure. I don't know if you know much about them, but they're the law here in Virginia City. See, Story County deputies and the marshal, they're in real close with the Comstocks, and Comstocks, their money greases all the wheels of politics around here. So when it came time to elect a marshal for the city, the Comstocks decided that the county officials, lawmen, were good enough for the city of Virginia, or Virginia City, and so that's what we got. A couple deputies, one marshal."
Let's see. You've been very kind, and I do appreciate all the information that you've given me. And with any luck, I shall retrieve my brothers, and he come here and watch this filth. Yeah, fantastic.
One small change. 3 deputies. So he says his name's Andrew Mercer, but I didn't tell you that.
And not Matthew?
No, not Matthew.
I knew Matthew, listen. Anyway. Okay. Story County Sheriff Andrew Mercer and his 3 deputies. Those were the guys that beat up my brother, threw him in his automobile, and headed out west.
Yep. He's the Story County Sheriff. I keep saying Marshal when I mean to say Sheriff, but...
Sure. Okay. All right. I am obliged. Thank you so much. You've been very helpful.
I hope you... Not that I want you to tussle with the Comstocks, and please don't mention my name at all, but I do hope you find your brother.
I appreciate it. He'll be back here in your audience. I think it is.
I look forward to it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go. The performance, this act is almost done, and I need to go yell at someone.
Okay. Rightfully so. Good day. Okay, I come down and I tell them that we've got a lead. The owner of this fine establishment says that the Story County Sheriff Andrew Mercer and his 3 deputies were the ones who snagged my brother. They persuaded him forcibly into their automobile and headed out west. Anybody know what's out west? I would know. I guess I'm from. Been around.
Well, he even mentioned to you that the Comstock Ranch is out west.
Okay, but that wasn't the place that they saved me from, right?
No.
Okay,
The
so this is a different
Dorcas's
place
fort in her cultist, the locale that her cultist set up was northeast of Virginia City.
Okay, all right, thank you. Looks like we're going to pay a visit to the Comstocks. Probably prepare.
Can we wait till the performance is over? This is terribly, horribly bad.
Davy grabs Brother Malachi by the arm and pulls him backwards through the door.
One more act.
You should try to shoot the sandbag so that the curtain falls down and says "Show's over." Intermission.
Intermission.
I'll give you a Benny Bill. All right. So the posse drags Brother Malachi out of the performance.
The horrible performance.
Captivating.
All right. So what are you guys doing next?
We got to find out a little bit more about this Comstock ranch. And
Well, we could do the same thing we did when we went to the fort and rescued you guys. We could ride out and see if we can find a bluff or some high point to sit and kind of observe it, see who comes and who goes, and get a lay of the land, and then come up with a plan. Worked well when we broke you guys out of the fort.
I like this idea as a bounty hunter. I always like to have a lot of recon before I go in on my target.
Yep.
me too. I'd like to see if Christopher's still alive, if at all possible.
Okay. So you're gonna take your horses, or are you guys gonna walk out on foot? Yeah, you do remember, because the Comstocks, I mean, they're some of the founding family of Virginia City. Their ranch is a couple miles outside of town.
Yeah, I whistle for Malou.
Yeah, we would ride our horses.
All right. So you go and grab your horses,
2 mile walk.
and Evan grabs her hover horse.
Hover horse.
Oh, I'm sorry. She doesn't have to grab it. It's with her at all times.
Well, we could always rent a stagecoach.
Listen here, lad.
Wait,
Don't try me.
sorry, Ed.
I will blow
do
the coach
forget.
and you to bits.
So you're just gonna hit the road and ride on out, or how are you gonna approach the ranch?
I wouldn't say we want to ride straight for it. We probably want to kind of make a loop
Yeah.
around and
A little beeline. Yeah.
kind of end around it.
Okay. So you take the long way around, which is probably a safer route. I was just giving you a chance to say what you're doing. And by late afternoon, you find yourself approaching in the far distance. So the ranch sits, and there's a. You saw how Virginia City sits in a little bit of a valley here. Moving back to that now. You know, you got the big mountains on the north, and then some smaller ones to the southeast, and smaller ones to the southwest. And Virginia City kind of sits in the middle here. So if you look out west, you see like there's another mountain there in the distance. So what you end up with is this long, shallow desert valley on the other side. And there's not much for housing out there because Comstocks pretty much own all the territory out that way. They keep it to themselves. So you make a long loop out this direction, and then eventually, you know, find your way over, you know, this way somewhere, a couple miles out, and close enough for you to get a good view of the ranch, but far enough away that you know you're just over a ridge, a small ridge, so you're in an unnoticed location. So the ranch itself, it's like an extravagant. You travel quite a bit. You've seen some nice buildings, but this is a nice home. This is a huge 2-story ranch out in the middle. It's got these 2 huge barns around it with a huge fenced-in area and whatnot. And you can see a huge there's a large fenced-off area, and there's actually a herd of cattle here right now as well north of the town. And there's actually a garage built on the backside of the ranch, and you see a pair of shiny automobiles sitting inside the garage. And so let me move you over to this map.
Ooh,
So what you're saying is this place is huge.
It's pretty big.
it's huge.
It's huge.
So you are north. So north is down on this map.
What?
North is down. And you are north of the ranch. So you're facing...
Ours?
Yep.
Did this turn into Deadlands Noir?
Nope. You see 2... You've actually never actually seen these before. So these are 2 state-of-the-art, never before seen by you, Hellstrom specials. Like straight from the mind of the genius himself. There were some steam-powered vehicles, steam-powered wagons in the Weird West for a little while now, and he took it to a whole new level and built like the Model T of the Weird West. And you see a pair of these, a light bluish one and a black one, sitting in the garage section out there. Just behind the garage from here, you can spot what looks like an old, what do they call them? A garden house with the glass over top.
Atrium?
Greenhouse.
Greenhouse or atrium, yeah.
Conservatory?
Conservatory, there you go. We'll go off.
Colonel Mustard with the lead pipe.
In the conservatory. And there's a small porch here, but you can see it bend from your angle. You can see it bending around on the south east side. Another long porch out on that side, and you also see a pair of gunmen on the small porch here, and you see another pair of gunmen walking around the long porch on this side, and there's a pair of gunmen at the back door where the automobiles are. And we'll do like we did last time, because it actually worked so well.
What, set everything on fire?
Picture pages, it's time to get... Well, that's always an option as well.
When all else fails, burn it to the ground.
Get it on fire.
So there's the ranch. Feel free to add notes and whatnot as you please. There's a barn. Smaller barn over there. Let's change the color. And you see the pen with the cattle up over this way.
I really like how you just refuse to snap to the grid. I like the way you just...
Fight the power.
Is your OCD
Fine.
kicking in there? Do you went, it's gotta line up!
It's like, just got a grid.
So you guys are way off out here. Let's change that. Something a little easier to see.
Looks like you may have to come back in the cover of darkness.
So this is what you're looking at. Unfortunately, unlike the fort, Dorcas's fort, that was my chair, I swear. I didn't fart. And I'm sure with this audio, this microphone, it came out perfectly. There's no Overwatch. There's no large rock outcrop. You imagine someone like Tobias might be able to make a shot from here, but unfortunately, you're not with Tobias right now.
Well, I'm not a bad shot myself.
Oh, that's right. You got
Me and
Davy.
old Excalibur here.
I forgot. You have Davy right now. So what are you guys thinking? No canyon to contend with this time. Plenty of gunmen around the outside.
Davey, you think you got a shot from here?
I don't know if it's worth to do that in the daytime.
Well,
Maybe we need to. Come back in the light of the moon. Do I know like what the moon is?
are we actually 50 feet away, or
No,
is this
no.
a
That measure.
great longer distance?
It's a much longer distance.
Okay.
Do I know like what the cycle of the moon is right now? Like, is it going to be a full moon tonight, or is it going to be like a new moon? You know, do you happen to know?
It's a waxing moon right now.
Waxing moon. Okay, so it's not full brightness, but it's still out there.
Yeah, it's getting there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and old Excalibur here. Probably. Good,
So as we sit and watch, we see Comstock men moving about, or any sign of Christopher. What do we see as we
You don't
if we
see
sit
Christopher
here
at all.
and if we sit here and watch for an hour or so? What do we see moving about?
Give me notice checks. And then you were asking a question, Matt.
Oh, I was just saying that me and Excalibur here probably take some pot shots. I am a marksman.
Evan's the eagle-eyed today.
Yeah, I got an 8.
Oh, yeah. So you got 2 eagle eyes. So everyone succeeded, and Evan and Harley got a raise. So, first of all, you don't catch any sight of Christopher whatsoever in that hour's time. Every now and then, you do see the 2 of the guards on the long porch do a swing around the ranch house and hit the outside buildings and check everything out. But you don't really see a pattern to it, except for Evan and Harley, who do pick out the pattern and realize that those guys are doing their roundabout every 15 minutes or so.
How many?
There's a pair of them. Yeah, they come out.
2.
I'm sorry, it's not the ones who are on the ranch. There's 2 in the ranch house who come out. They do a round around the ranch house. Then they go hit the 2 barns, check things out. They don't go in the barns. They just walk around them,
Sure.
and then head back to the ranch house.
Okay. Any kind of fence or anything around the houses, like any outdoor animal pens or something like that?
Big
or-
cattle.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, but are they just like grazing?
yeah. The green actually is a fenced-in area. So this is a small herd of cattle, and they're actually fenced in up there. Yeah.
Okay, so they're not like free roam grazing. They're fenced in.
Yep.
So I'm thinking that cattle's going to be a good diversion somehow.
I like that idea.
What are you gonna say?
Go over there, open the gate, and cause a stampede. We
Nice.
could do that.
Nice little
Open the
explosion would serve well to spook the cattle.
Rocket launcher.
Well, before we go blowing anything up, we better make sure Christopher's not in it. We don't want
Do
to
we
blow
really
up.
care at this point? It's
your brother.
No, I meant to the Comstock. If we could cause, any property damage and loss.
Well, but that's
on
what I'm
them,
saying.
then-
I mean, what if they're holding your brother in the barn and we blow the barn
I know.
sky high?
I was just talking about the cattle. Just let the cattle out and let them.
We don't need to blow up cattle.
No, not blow up the cattle. Let the cattle out.
Yeah, like open
Shove
up.
the dynamite up one of the cattle's ass and light it.
I caught what you were saying. Like open up the gate and then set off an explosion on the side, spook the
Yes.
cattle, and send them running.
actually open the gate and blow the cow out of it.
Well, it's less fun, and we don't get to have like.
See,
flavor.
I know what Evan's thinking.
It's not
All
that
the
I
normal
disagree.
people are just thinking cause an explosion.
It's like
Evan's thinking strap the dynamite to the cattle's ass and
open the gate here, blow it up here. They'll all go out
Thank
over
you.
here.
Yes, I want steak dinners.
actually I was
The
thinking
guards run and
open the
chase
gate.
them.
Open the gate here, do the explosion over here, and get them all to stampede
Yeah.
right in front of the house and the barn and
Yeah.
everything.
It
Right.
depends on where the gate is.
Cause complete chaos.
Yeah. Have them go here, this way. Where is the gates on this cattle?
Fantastic question.
Of course, it doesn't matter. We
The
can make
GM's like, where is the gate? What can fuck with your plan? The gate is on the north side.
There are 3 gates. There is one that does open up towards the ranch itself, and then there's a north and a south gate.
Oh yeah, that's right. North's down on this map.
Up
Okay.
is down. In the upside down.
We're in the upside down, yeah. So far, all we've seen is 2 ranch hands who patrol around maybe every 15 minutes. So that's not to say that there aren't more in the house or working in the barn or anything.
Well, there were
only
2
seen.
patrolling around the house. There were 2 over by the cars.
Feel free to write on the map if you want to put notes down.
Okay.
There were 2 by the cars. I thought.
Yeah. There were
Okay.
2 over here by the cars. There was 2 over here and 2 guys back here.
2 here. 2 here. Yeah.
There you go.
So that's 8 total.
No, there was 6.
Oh, just 6.
Oh, and
Wow.
the 2 that come out of the building and go march around.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
right.
8.
Yeah.
6 that are standing around outside, and then 2 that every 15 minutes come out and patrol around. So that's 8 total.
So it
Your-
just depends
your
on
patrol-
how many we can get rid of.
We'll do a little freehand here. I know you'll see this when I'm done drawing it.
I know you're sitting there going do, and I'm like, yeah, no. Okay, so the patrol
That's the path.
That's the path they
out of the
walk on.
house. Well,
Well, we could get them here, which would be out of sight of the people around the house. So if we were to nab them here, disguise ourselves as the 2 of them, come over here and check the gate, quote unquote, maybe unlatch it, then come back. Well, no, I'd have to return.
well, here's what I'm thinking. At first, I was thinking it would be a good idea to have them stampede through the front of the house and the barn and everything. But now I got a better thought. What if we opened the south gate? Because one, I don't think we want to try to open the north or the corner gates,
Mhm,
because that would get us too close to where the guards are standing around.
right.
If we sneak up to the south gate, we could probably sneak up to that gate easier.
Yeah.
We open the south gate, cause a
Away
ruckus.
from the house.
Yeah, exactly. And if all of the cattle run away to the south, they'll all saddle up and start chasing after him to round him up. And then that'll clear the camp. And then they all leave to go round up the cattle. And hopefully at least 4 or 5 of them will take off to go get the cattle. And that'll cut the numbers down significantly.
Mhm.
And then we can sneak in. We're to the north of the camp, correct?
Yep, you're up here.
Yep. So then we could sneak in on like the northeast corner there by the small barn.
I'll move it closer just for planning's sake. But
Yeah.
just know it's actually farther away than that.
So Evan, with her explosives, now I get to do a
Yeah,
little.
but I'm making a face.
Now I get to do a little do. So Evan, with her explosives, will make a wide loop around and come to the south gate. She'll open that south gate, spook the cattle with her explosives. Spook, not explode. Spook the cattle with her explosives and cause the cattle to go running that way. Hopefully, some of these guys will take off to the south to go get the cattle. Then
I can sharpshoot anybody left over.
Davy can actually stay here and sharpshoot from a distance. Harley and Brother Malachi, we can sneak around this way, and then we can, once the numbers are thinned, then Evan can come over this way. We can meet up kind of in here and deal with whoever stays behind, if anybody stays behind. We can deal with them. We can check out the buildings and see if we can find Christopher.
Sounds like a plan.
Thoughts?
I guess.
I'm good with it.
Yes.
I don't get any steak dinner out of it, but I guess.
Can't eat a cow after you blow it up with explosives anyway. It'd just
Who
be
says?
dripping from the trees.
Isn't it like ground beef, splattered beef at that point?
Okay. Make tacos with that.
It's seared on the outside and rare on the inside. Good to go.
What do you call a cow with no legs?
Dinner?
Ground beef. What do you call a cow with 2 legs shorter than the other?
Short round?
Lean beef.
Lean beef. I was overthinking that one. Anyway,
Do we do it during the day or during the night, though? That's the question.
Nice.
I say we do
Night?
it during the night because it's wide open.
Well, during the night, though, it'll be harder for Davy to pick people off from a distance. You got a night vision and an infrared scope on that rifle of yours, Dave?
Oh, but he does have werewolf senses.
Well, no.
yeah, it's up to you, Matt, if you want to say anything.
Oh, we don't know that? Sorry.
I forgot about that.
Well, you guys you've gotten hints, Michael, so you know something. Like, he's definitely displayed his enhanced senses before, and his not needing lights at night kind of thing.
Yeah, I gotta read this again.
Yeah, I could have swore we did. We got some hints of that right at the end of the campaign.
Yeah.
I forgot about it, though. So much stuff coming back. Is that why you asked about the moon? Okay.
You asked about it for Davy? Oh, okay.
I thought you were just asking to see like how much moonlight there would be at night. You just wanted to know if Davy was gonna go all nuts on
Oh, yes.
go all nuts on us come nightfall.
Yeah.
You still looking it up, Matt?
No, I read it. It just says, as the time approaches, I get a +2 to notice and tracking.
Right. Yeah, that represents your enhanced senses.
So
You'd have no problem
it's-
seeing at night if you wanted to.
yeah.
So, yeah, mostly I was asking because it's either use the cows as a distraction or use me as a distraction. That's what I was going for.
Well,
So,
maybe we use night and the cows.
yep, I agree.
Yeah. I was thinking doing it at night anyway.
Well, Evan really wants to use her explosives.
I do.
Because what I was thinking was, we got until nightfall. Let's go look around in the desert and see if we can find a couple rattlers. Find a couple rattlesnakes. and then she could just take the rattlesnakes and throw them into the cattle pit or into the cattle yard, and that would spook the cows enough to start a couple of rattlers in the middle of the herd. That would spook, get them to run.
I want to explode some shit.
I know.
There will be the time will come.
See, here's the thing. We have to make it seem natural. Cows don't naturally explode. If you blow a cow up, they're
I don't
gonna
know, man. This is a weird West. We don't know what naturally explodes or not.
Yeah, there are naturally exploding cows in the in Deadlands. In the Weird West, cows just spontaneously explode.
Well, one farted while the other one was smoking and lighting up, so the methane
It was
ignited.
methane, yeah.
Exactly.
The
Yeah.
methane
Excuse
gas
me,
from
sir.
the cow.
Yes, detective. How did this dynamite get up this cow's butt? I don't know.
Seriously, blow it up.
Lost you, Bill.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not yet.
Really faint.
Yep. Turn back to your left.
Tilt your head just right. Hold the hanger.
Hold the antenna.
Yeah, hold the antenna this way.
Here, go like this. Oh, hang on. You can't see me. Hang on. Go like
Yeah.
this.
It's
So
got to
like
be
this?
a wire. That's got to be a wire.
All right.
Too many,
Now try again,
too many
Bill.
times getting up thinking it's wireless and getting it pulled off your head.
is that better now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we know the dance move that makes the headset work now.
Just shake your head.
I was alluding to Steven in the Tomb of Annihilation game.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Anyway, an explosion. An explosion makes it look suspicious. We want the cattle to run away, and we want it to not be suspicious, so that if you blow everything up, then instead of running after the cattle, they're going to be like, "Why was there an explosion?" Cut out.
Fine, but I get to blow up the next building we go to.
Here, I'll tell you what you do. We will let you wire up the ranch house, okay? And then once we have Christopher and we're running away, then you can blow the whole Comstock thing sky high.
Oh, and Papa's going to get me one of them chariots.
What?
How's that sound? And you can even have one of those mechanized horses down there when we're done that you can tear it apart and find out whatever you can from Hellstrom's little gizmos down there. Think of all the pieces parts you'll get out of that. All that Hellstrom tech.
All right. Ugh.
So why don't we see if we can find some rattlesnakes then? Why don't we see if we can find some rattlers and toss them in a sack and use those to spook the cattle?
Sounds like a plan to me.
Do you guys need me to do some tracking, or should I stay here
Yeah.
and keep
No,
overwatch?
that would-
No.
Probably you're the best one to find the snakes. You're that ain't my
Yeah.
speciality.
I got a 12.
Yep.
Unless the snakes are, have ghost rock in them, that's not my specialty either.
Ghost rock powered snakes. Now that's an idea.
That's an idea.
Oh.
Yikes! That looks like a fate chip to me.
Yep. Fate chip.
Fate chip.
So the way to, if you want to use a Matt, click on it to expand the fate chips, and then just grab the one you want and throw it out on the table.
And then click on the little
There-
chip down below.
there you go.
There's your tray.
Yep.
I kept
Alright.
trying to click off of it, and I was like, why is this thing going?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you gotta click back on the.
All right. Go ahead and give us that reroll. There you go.
Much better.
You found a den of snakes.
Yeah, you find. Yeah, exactly. You find a whole mess of rattlers in a nest. and fill a couple sacks full of the nasty critters.
Good work, Davy.
You guys can almost hear the rattling in the sacks as he comes walking back with 2 sacks, one in each hand, and the bags are like shaking a little bit.
Nice.
Is this
Hey,
what you
Ken.
needed?
That'll
bite
do the
through
job.
bag there,
Think
Davey.
that'll
Just
work.
Be careful and just don't get that near us, okay? I looked devils in the eyes that were nicer than those things.
All right. Any questions? Everybody know they're part of the plan?
Yep.
Yes.
What are you gonna do, Evan?
I'm gonna put the rattlesnakes in the pen and open the gate to the south and not explode the stuff.
Good. I promise you can blow the ranch house up after we find Christopher.
Yeah.
All right, so first things first, we'll start with Evan again this time. I need you to give me a stealth check to approach the cattle. Stealth is Evan's great at stealth.
He's okay at stuff.
As long as she doesn't drop her wrench.
Yeah, as long as I don't drop my wrench.
Okay, so you actually got an ace there, so that's a success. So yeah, you guys watch from a distance as Evan kind of blends in well to the environment and slowly makes her way out.
And it is nighttime. We did wait for night. We did wait for nighttime.
Yeah.
That's
okay,
a good.
you're waiting for night. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
And
we
that is a good
definitely
question, though. At night, do the guys move around? You know, now that it's nighttime, they go in, they grab dinner, they whatever.
Mhm.
Does the guard postings look like they change at night?
They do change. You see another, pair of. They actually rotate. So you see like another pair of guys come out and replace the guys on the porch. This is after a few hours, and they all rotate around to the front of the house. The other pair rotate over the garage, and the ones who are in the garage rotate and go inside the ranch house.
So all 6 guys that were outside go in, and 6 new guys come out.
No.
So
2 new guys you're not seeing come out. The ones who are outside all rotate around, and the ones who are at the garage go inside.
okay, so it's still only. So now it's 10 people.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
at least 10 people.
It's at least 10
Now
people.
it's at least 10 people. Okay. All right. That's good to know. Good idea to wait till nightfall. We probably wouldn't have known there were those extra guys.
Yeah.
All right. But there's still 6 guys outside with 2 guys who patrol every 15 minutes.
Yep.
Even at night.
Yeah, and the ones who patrol are not the ones who came out and took up a guard spot.
Right. So it's definitely 10 unique guys. We've counted at least 10 guys that we've seen.
Mhm.
So 6 outside, 4 at least inside.
Yep.
And then, yeah. Okay, let's do it.
All right, trying to find something real quick. So the maps I got, just by sheer coincidence, I actually have night versions of the maps.
Day versions and night versions. It's cool. A lot of the map makers are doing that now. They're doing like that Dynamic Dungeons guy, the guy that does the animated maps. He does the same thing. He'll do day and night versions of all of his maps.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
It's like the equivalent of doing male and female versions of the same character in games, A lot of board games are doing that.
Oh, that's the wrong manor house. If I can't find it in a second, we'll just go ahead. I don't want to hold this up too long. All right, we'll just go ahead. That's fine.
Okay, so I have a question real quick. I
Yeah.
looked up aim, the power aim, because I think I get the power aim because I'm a marksman. Is that
Mhm.
right?
That is correct.
Okay, so it's may fire with the aim maneuver if not moved during while attacking. So does that mean? And I'm just reading aim. It says increases a character's accuracy or shooting or throwing attack. Called shot penalties are reduced. So is it basically penalties are reduced by 1
Yes.
if I aim? Okay.
If you make a
How
called
is-
shot, and then
If I make a called shot.
Yep.
But if I'm just sitting there, if I just, I'll be basically out here, I'll be aiming at the target. So what's the,
Yeah,
what's the,
I actually have a boost and lower trait. Is your shooting? Is it the highest die it can go?
yeah, it's a 12.
Okay. Anybody else need a trait raised? Because I can raise or lower any trait by 1 die type or 2 die type with a raise.
What are you using to do that?
It's called boost or lower trait. It's a spell that I cast.
Oh, okay.
So for aim, if you don't move, so marksman allows you to aim and shoot on the same turn. Now anyone can aim, but they have to aim this turn and then they shoot next turn.
Right.
Marksman allows you to do it immediately. And when you aim, it gives you +2 on your shooting rolls.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. I'm going to put
That's-
that in the description here.
That's interesting. That's not a boost and lower trait? That's not a power, is it?
Boost and lower trait is a power, yes.
Yeah, it's a power.
I'm not seeing it listed.
If you go to the power cards section, there's a power
Oh,
card.
there it is. Okay, I see it now. That uses smarts.
Yeah.
I mean, I can cast it, but it
What's
uses.
your,
Is
what's
that
your
one?
self?
Yeah, say, is that one on your list?
It is. It says for the blessed. It's the trappings are like a bless or a curse.
Right.
A prayer called bless or curse.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Huckster, no visible effect. Even mad scientists can do it. Evan can even do it.
Oh wow.
Now, for them, it's if they took the power. Because they have to take edges to get the powers. You're
Yeah,
different
that's
because you're
true.
blessed.
Yeah, as blessed, I can cast anything as long as I just make my prayer.
Mm.
I'm wondering if that would be a good idea. How long does that last?
It is 5 rounds. It's a very short duration.
Audrey, you're going out. No.
Smack yourself harder. It might come back.
Do the dance part.
Do the truffle shuffle.
Did that help any?
Yeah, it did.
A little bit.
Because I'm thinking probably stealth. Stealth.
We lost again. Do the dance again.
Wiggle the cord around.
That help?
I don't know. You got to keep talking for us to tell if it helped.
That helped. Does that help? Does
Yep.
that help?
There we go.
That helped.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, you're back.
All right. So I was about to say what I was trying to say before I faded out was I think boosting at least for me boosting my stealth would help.
Yeah,
my
me
shooting's
too.
already a D10, so I don't know that I need to boost that all that much. But probably boosting my stealth wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah, same here.
What is your chance of success on that? Because I'm rolling a D20 minus 1 on my faith.
I'm in.
Or actually,
Well,
no,
I'm just a D12.
Yeah, it's
I'm
D12.
rolling.
I mean,
Or I'm sorry, not a D20. I'm rolling a D12.
Yeah.
But actually, that's a novice. Lower trait novice. Yeah.
yeah.
So
so
actually,
you would
I
use
get
it at novice.
penalty. So I'm rolling a D12. So we've got an equal chance.
Yeah.
I'm rolling a D4
For
for
what?
stealth. I'm really bad at it.
Okay. So here,
Well,
let me.
you already rolled yours though, Evan, and you have a success.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do then. I'm going to take Harley's suggestion.
Well, actually,
And-
let me rephrase that a little bit. Unless you want to use a Benny to try and roll higher, and then do it with a boost, the boost to the trait. I will allow you to do that if you because they've got to roll their notice. You do have a success, so you stealthed. But if I do roll higher than you on the notice, they may see you. So do you want to try and boost that, Jess?
I mean,
We would have to boost her. She didn't take the edge to take boost.
Right.
did
Yeah,
you?
that's what I'm saying. I just wanted to make sure that you know that option is there.
can you say that one more time? I apologize.
Oh, that's okay. So you rolled a success, a 5. So you were successful at being stealthy. Now I'm still going to make a notice check against that 5. So if I roll higher than the 5, they may see you.
Okay.
So you could choose to use a Benny to try and roll higher, and then I'll let the guys go ahead and boost you if that's what they decide to do with their boost, so that you could roll with a D6 instead of a D4.
Is that something you guys want to use your boost on?
Yeah, absolutely. I could pray for a boost trait.
Okay, then I will
Yeah,
use
mine
Benny.
just costs 2 power points.
Mine doesn't really cost anything, so
Oh, really? Wow.
save your
Okay.
power points.
Okay.
You get a boost, and you get a boost.
You get a boost as long as I don't. Yeah, as long as I don't roll 1.
As long as he doesn't fail or roll a 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, just roll a 1. The snake eyes, or not even a
I mean,
snake
if I
eyes.
fa-
A 1 on the
if I-
faith die.
If I fail, I'll get a fatigue again,
Yeah.
which I'm still already at 1 fatigue.
So, I'm throwing out a Benny.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Give
let
me that boost, boy.
Here, let's go for the boost. Okay, so there's a boost.
All right. So yeah, your stealth is now a D6. So go ahead and just change your stealth score to D6,
Okay.
and then you can roll it again.
Whoa, excuse me, sir.
Okay, I see what I have to do.
And it has to be 1 on the die too, by the way. Like you have a -1 wound, so if you roll a 2 and it goes down to a 1, that doesn't hurt you, Bill. It has to be an actual 1
there's
on the die.
Under modifiers, if you click on that little gear on stealth, mine has boost lower trait from base by number of steps. So you're able
nice.
to change your die type.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not see that.
So you can do like 1 or 2 right there, and it'll roll it.
Yeah, if you want to go ahead and do that just to play with the character sheet, and then you can roll it again. If you roll lower than the 5, we'll take the 5. But I'll let you just to play with the character sheet. We can do it again.
No matter what she does, she gets a 5. It was meant to be. She's
Yeah.
meant to get a 5.
I guess it was fated, yeah.
Yep.
So that is a success. All right. So Evan's sneaking out that way. Let me grab.
Could spend your blue chip and add to it.
You could.
That is okay.
With the blue chip, you would actually roll again and add to the 5.
Oh, it's an either or. So she could just roll 1d6 and add it to that total, or she could use it like a normal white chip and reroll. Not
Right.
both.
That's what I'm saying. But that's the blue chip. And the nice thing about the blue chip is you've got the 5. You're going to add to it whatever you roll.
It's going to be a 6, if not more.
And it's not going to give my chip because it's blue.
That is correct.
I will be okay.
All right.
Okay.
Next, I am going to boost my own. I'm going to do a faith check to see if I can boost my own stealth,
Okay.
which I can. So my stealth is now boosted.
All right. Yeah, you're 1 step boosted.
Yep.
All right.
And
so
then
give me your stealth check.
Well, hold on, because I'm going to also pray to boost Harley
Okay.
before we walk off.
Lies, brother.
Ooh, that's
Harley-
with a raise.
Yeah, Harley gets
So-
2 steps.
You get 2 boosts.
Heck yeah.
So Harley goes up to a D8.
I get a 5. Hey, thank goodness though.
Five is that number today.
Oh, there goes a chip.
There's a chip off your shoulder.
Ooh. You know what? There goes a blue chip. I'm gonna add to that.
Okay.
Because if they see us, the whole plan goes south.
May the odds be in your favor.
So that'll be an 8 total then.
Oh, okay. So.
I was rolling to add. I was rolling a die to add
I see
to
what
the
you did.
4.
Okay.
Yeah, he rolled a D6.
So that's a success with the raise.
Yep.
All right. So we had 8, a 5, and 5. So Brother Malachi is like the wind.
I'm like, okay, brother. Crap, where did he go?
Start to see us.
All right. Now I will remind you, I've just rolled a 5, so you guys know what that means for 2 of you. You can use chips to make me reroll. Oh wait, no, you can't. I'm sorry. Different game.
So we've been spotted.
You and Evan have spotted yet.
Do I have to roll anything?
Davey, do give me a notice check.
Do I get any bonuses?
You get your +2 bonus.
I get my +2 bonus. Okay. Let me plug that in there.
And I need everyone to give me a notice check, actually.
I don't think it put it in. Oh. It didn't put it in there. Because I didn't click out of it. So that should be a 7.
Okay.
I didn't click out of the field before I rolled, so I didn't take the
that's
change.
fine.
I put a modifier in a +2. So that'd be a 7.
All right, so Evan keeps moving, not even noticing.
Yeah.
From
She
your
got a
bit,
She got a 5?
Yeah, it's me. I didn't notice.
Harley's the one that didn't notice that he was spotted.
well, there's layers here, so let me go ahead and describe it
okay.
first.
All right.
So Evan notices, everyone notices that the gunmen on the south side, the north side, have spotted Harley and Evan. These two one of them motions the other one, and they start walking out this direction, kind of crouching right, and start moving towards the backside of that barn. Here, let me move them a little bit so they're not under the line. Davy sees that is the only one who notices that the two over here actually becomes 1 and 1. Because one of them stays his post. He actually posts up behind one of the cars, and he's got his gun trained over Evan's direction. And you could tell, Davey, that Evan doesn't notice, but one of the ones is sneaking out to the brush, heading out towards Evan.
I'm probably gonna try to snipe him.
Okay. Go ahead and take your shot.
If he gets, well.
Yeah, he sees Evan, and he is making a pretty quick stealth beeline for her.
Okay. Yeah, I'm probably gonna need to make a snap decision and aim to take him out. So.
All right, give me your shoot and roll.
That means
And now you are at pretty long range.
An extra +2 because I'm aiming, right?
Yep. So you're only going to be -2 to this roll, because half the -4 penalty is reduced to -2.
Okay. So basically, if I roll this with a +2, so
No,
should
no,
I
no.
just roll it as normal?
So yeah, you do all the plus and minuses as normal. So you're -4 due to the range, you're +2 due to aim, so you're cumulative -2. So if you just want to roll normal, and then
I'm
we
at
can,
net -2.
you're at net -2, and that comes off after the roll. So you can roll normal, and then we'll subtract the 2.
I exit.
I think I figured it out. We'll see if this works.
And the -2 does not matter.
Doesn't matter.
You hit with the raise.
The man had a head.
Hey, kayak.
I can't hear you, Bill. Nope. Nope.
So I'm just gonna roll my damage.
You actually roll it with an extra d6.
Okay.
You got 2 raises. You roll it with 2 extra d6s.
So.
No, I'm sorry. That's -2. It's a 10. So you roll it with 1 extra d6.
Okay.
You guys hear me now?
Yes.
Now,
So there is 10 points.
10 points. Okay. That's with your extra d6?
Yeah, I have 5, a 1, and a 4.
Okay. All right. So his toughness is 5. So you surpassed. So he goes down. He's dead. And now I need we're going to roll initiative now.